Hey, what's up, everybody? Adam here. So someone asked me how to make, or how did I make a bed edge in Real-Time Landscape Architect. So I'm going to kind of show you how I did that. Um, what I have here is a scene with just one region in it, and that will control the grass or the 3D grass in walkthrough mode. And I placed that first, so that's the bottommost layer, and then whatever we draw on top will cut through it. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to create a bed edge for this ginkgo biloba tree, and all I want to do is go to region. We're going to come up here to shape. We're going to load shape. I'm going to go to circle, and that should drop a circle in, something like that. Looks to be a little bit too big. Let's scale it down, and let's just say our bed edge is somewhere around there. Okay, go to plan view, and if we needed to, we could grab our tree, go to symbol, turn up the transparency, and then we kind of see what's underneath, and grab our bed and just kind of center it here like so. Let's go back to perspective. All right, so what we want to do is, first thing, I'm going to go to edge style up here. Let's turn that to sharp. All right, I'll get rid of that little fade there. And we are going to turn our height taper up to 100. And then we're going to click the minus button here, maybe 2 times or 3 times, to depending on how deep you want your bed edge. Yeah, let's do 3 inches. That looks pretty good. And now we just have our bed. It's sunken down, right? But we need to put in something here that looks like a bed edge. And we could do this by going to shape options. Let's first copy the location and the shape. And then we're going to come up here to modeling. We're going to go to extrusion, and I'm going to paste it in. And you can see that that pastes that right there. So now what we're going to do is we are going to bring our elevation down to 3 inches, which was the height or the depth that we lowered that other region, which is basically acting like a cutting region, right? And we lowered it down 3 inches. And then when we put the extruded shape in, it's sitting 3 inches below grade. That's why our elevation is set to 0. It's actually sitting on that cutting object, and it's 3 inches thick. So it's sitting right at grade. All we have to do now is uncheck add cap. And now we can go up here. Let's make sure show all material categories. Let's go to ground. And let's maybe do something like this. And there's our bed edge. So let's turn on walkthrough mode and just look at what this looks like with 3D grass. Okay, looks pretty good. A little bit of grass spilling over. Now, it all depends on the type of grass that we have in our grass region here. So I'm going to bump this up to maybe medium, or let's go thick. And let's go even short with 3-inch grass. Back to walkthrough. And now you can see the grass is starting to fill into tree ring here. All right. So the bigger the grass is, the more it will start to spill over. So depending on what the needs are, we wanted to get rid of a little bit of spillover. What we can do is come up here. Let's grab our mulch here. We're going to again grab that shape. Let's copy it. Let's go back to landscape, go to region. Let's paste in that shape. Okay. And now there's a couple things we can do. First of all, just notice that this is set to 0 and 0 rather than 100 and -3 like our other ones, so that when we choose it, we can understand. So the first thing we could do is go to our larger region here and copy the grass, right? We're just copying the material, and then we're going to come back here, and I want to grab this, not that one, this one, right? And now I'm going to paste in the material. You're going to see that it's going to go over top of this one. So what I need to do is go to render order and send it backwards, and also hit B, right? Now that'll send it under the mulch. And we're going to change our edge style to sharp, so that, and I can kind of show you why. If we set this something like soft and go into walkthrough mode, you're going to see that the grass is going to blend here right on. You're going to start to pick up that little bit of grass right there on the edge. So kind of see that little bit there. So if we go to edge style and go to sharp, it won't do that. Okay, the other thing, we are going to use this, push our grass back so it doesn't spill into our bed. So right click, go to offset. And now let's just offset this. And you can see that it jumped up out of the bed, and now it's here on the terrain. Let's just offset it a little bit, something like that. Okay. if you wanted, all right, you could give this like an earth material. If we go back here, kind of like a topsoil, something like that, and you could see where that's sitting there. Okay, it's a little hard to tell because I had the exact same material pasted in. If we go back to walkthrough mode, now you'll be able to see that that grass kind of coming right up to the edge there, but it's not spilling in at all. And it looks more like we have topsoil there under the grass. Okay, but if you really wanted it to be clean, what we could do there is just paste in that grass material. And now you won't see it at all. It won't come into the bed, but you'll also get, oh, we actually have to take, I think this here, let's turn this to sharp as well. You can kind of see how good that looks. You know, from any kind of distance, you can't really pick up anything here. You can see a little bit that grass right there. Again, we could change that to and show you what that looks like from a distance. So you might even be able to fade that a little bit less, go back to offset, and then just figure out where the sweet spot is and just remember that and you can use it. Again, it all depends on type of grass you're using. This looks good for this type of grass, but if I would go back here and I would change this to thin and very short, you'd most likely pick up this little bit of area right here. And in that case, you'd probably get in and offset a little bit less, something like that. And now that's really clean. All right, so what if we wanted to mound in here? Well, what I would say is it's probably the easiest to leave this mulch here as the cutting object. And then we're going to add another one that would make up the mound. So let's go to copy the shape again, back to region, paste the shape in there. Should have the same mulch, except now we can make sure the height taper is set to 0. And we could turn this up maybe, I don't know, 8 inches, something like that. Okay. And you can see what happens. The mulch ring goes to the very top. And if we would exaggerate this, maybe go like 8 or something, you could see that the mulch ring is sitting right at the very top. That's also a good way to center your tree, bring that up really high and not exactly where the center is. But we obviously don't need mulch that high. So instead of feet, let's drop it down to maybe 8 inches or so. And then all we have to do is take our ring here and we're just going to lower it down. Probably to there. Now we have the mulch ring and we have our bed edge, or I mean the mounding and our bed edge. So it looks really good. You could adjust taper. A lot of times it'll taper out here. So if I would get back in here and turn up this taper, actually it doesn't look too bad on a little ring like this. There we go. Actually a little bit better. So it's not so pointy. Kind of spreads it out. And that you can see if you go really high, it's not as thin as if it was like. All right. So the cool thing is once you have that in there, we could actually get in here and select it and you can copy, you could actually group it, right? And then copy and paste. You can copy and paste it without a group, but it should now, as you move it around, copy and paste or copy, paste in place. And now you can get a bunch of mulch rings or tree beds in your scene. And this would work for anything, right? So you could just make any kind of bed. It's really bad drawing there, but something like this. Again, you do it really quick here. We're going to go to 100. We're going to drop this down. 1, 2, maybe 3. We're going to copy it. We're going to go to modeling. We're going to go to extrusion. We're going to paste the shape in there. We're going to change the material, ground, here, maybe turn the eyes down a little bit. I'm going to turn off the caps and we're going to lower this down. We're not going to lower the elevation. We're going to lower the height and we're going to lower it down to 3 inches, which is the same thing that we dropped our region down. And there we have a bed edge. Okay. And really quick, if we need again, copy the shape, go back to landscape, go to region, and paste the shape in. And if it throws it off like that, just repaste it. We usually line it up. And now let's go to offset it just a little bit here for that type of grass that we had. And if you want, grab the grass material, copy it, come back here, paste that in, and then you'll have to change the render order or just hit B and that'll send it backwards like that. And grab the shape one more time, back to region, paste it in there if we wanted to do the mounding. Lift up the height here. Let's go maybe 2 feet, something like that. And then we would have to bring this down to minus 1 foot 10. So minus 1 foot 10 inches. And that should fall right in there. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave that for there. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that's helpful.